I think we pretty much came to the conclusion that narcissists have no respect. But they're generally, they're contributing to societal disintegration overall. Uh, and they're perfectly happy with that. That's what they want. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the systems that, if they were in place like they used to be, I don't think some of these things would be able to take place with these narcissists because, back in the day, it used to be that a man would have to meet a woman's father before he could even really like talk to her too much. So it was like you would have to go through the father. And these fathers they would have seen right through half of these clowns, and they wouldn't want that type of guy around their daughter. So if those systems were put back in place, I think that would actually help us to avoid a lot of these problems. But the problem we have is that the father figure, they aren't looking out for their daughters. It's just like every man for themselves, every woman for themselves, it's just complete debauchery. I mean, and now we have the internet, so people are just gaining access to people that they wouldn't normally be able to gain access to, and they're being able to sneakily weasel their way into people's lives without any supervision by a father figure. I mean, imagine if you literally had to say, well, let's say everyone you met online, you say, oh, well, I'm not allowed to talk to anyone unless they go through my father. You think that half of this BS would be taking place? They'd just be like, oh, I don't want to meet him. I don't want to do that, because they already know they're up to no good. So what you have is just a general lack of values and morals. We have men that apparently want to send you a dick pic, and that's supposed to be, it's how did we get to your dick from we haven't even had a conversation yet? You know what I'm saying? It's just completely ridiculous. I don't even entertain these freaks. I'm just oh, if you don't know how to have a conversation on a phone, I'm done with you. That's it. If you do not know how to have a conversation and you don't want to take the time to get to know me and you want to go straight to sex, it's already oh, okay, you're done. You're done. You're just a useless waste of time. So, but that's what these weasels do nowadays. They just this is the type of crap that we have to put up with. So they're just trying to I mean, it's completely disrespectful, first of all. It's completely disrespectful. If you entertain that to any degree, the male is going to take that as a sign that they can get away with a lot of stuff. So you have to put your foot down on that right away. You have to not even let that, because then it's just going to build up to more and more. If they think that you're accepting this disrespectful behavior, then they're going to look at you as a doormat. So you have to just cut that off right away. But I just think if there was more supervision, we just don't have that anymore. Father figures are not looking out for their daughters. A lot of people don't have a father figure in the picture to even do that. A lot of people are from narcissistic families themselves, so of course, and just general dysfunctional families in general, narcissistic or otherwise, to where no one's looking out for anyone anymore. So it's just if those boundaries were in place, I'm just saying a lot of this stuff, these narcs would not be able to get away with, a lot of this stuff that they do, because they would know that there was an authority figure who was looking out for this person, that they were trying to victimize, but we don't have that anymore. None of us have that. So therefore, you're thrown into the fire, you're thrown into the wolves, and you just have to figure it out on your own. So, and you learn pretty quick, mind you. So, I just think if there were more of a family structure, and someone looking out for their daughters, this would never, ever be able to take place. If they had to go through the father, they would never be able to get off all these schemes and all this BS that they try to pull. So I just think if those systems could be put back in place, that would be helpful. That would be useful for society. But I mean, narcissists overall, they're breaking down the family structures. This all benefits the narcissist because, like I said, when people are roaming alone, that's who the narcissists target. You know, they do target both. They target those who have a lot of friends and a strong support system as well. They target both because, you know, they've got to have backups for everything. So that they reel in basically anything. You know, it doesn't really matter. They don't really discriminate in that way because they need their supply one way or another. So they have to try whatever they can try to get it. So they're not going to say, oh, no way, that one's going to be way too hard, I'll just let them go. No, they're not going to do that. They're going to just chip away and try to slowly break that person down. You know what I mean? It'll be another feather in their cap if they can, you know, if they can break down a stronger person. That's just as good as a weaker person. It don't matter to them. It does not matter. But my point is, the narcissists, they have no respect. You know, they're not sitting around waiting to meet someone's father because they just want to be super respectful to this person's daughter. They don't care. They don't want to meet the father. They just want to get right to the victim and start working on the victim. So, you know, it's a kind of a vicious cycle because most people nowadays do not have strong family units. It's just kind of like, and then people are out in the wilderness of the internet where there's all kind of people that are trying to talk to them, strangers, just complete strangers. You know nothing about this person. There's no way to verify their background. You know, there's a lot of just pathological liars, psychopaths, sociopaths. It's like, I would say it's like 95% sociopaths and psychopaths on the internet. It's just, they're all over the place and they love the internet because it's easier to, like I said, they don't have to verify anything. This is a stranger and they know there's a lot of lonely people looking for someone to talk to. And so that aren't really hip to what's going on and stuff. And if they are, then they just try to go younger and younger and younger because they figure, oh, they don't know anything yet. Oh, I'll just try a younger target who's like, you know, super young, who really doesn't know that much yet. The people with more experience that have lived more years are more likely to have encountered one of these people and then got hip to it. You know what I'm saying? So then they may try like a younger target. So it's pretty disgusting, but this is what's going on. And so, you know, back in the day, if you think about it, people didn't, you had to just kind of be happy with who you got. Like, because there was no internet. So let's say you were, you know, around town, you met some female or some male or whatever. You just had to kind of be happy with that person. You were just happy that you met a companion to talk to. It wasn't like there was the World Wide Web and I could now go surfing for another person who has better credentials, more money. You would have had to go around town and go to events around town and then strike up a conversation with someone, find out what kind of job, what kind of work they do, how much money do they have. I mean, this was very, very time consuming. Okay, now that we have the internet, no one is satisfied with anything. They're not grateful or appreciative of the person they have. They're looking for the next best thing, like the next best deal, as in a human. They're looking at it like they're going shopping, like you're buying a new shirt and you want to get the best shirt. Well, now they're doing this with actual human beings. It's pretty ridiculous. Like, before the internet, people were just happy with just to have a companion, to have someone to spend time with, to have someone to converse with. Now it's, I want to optimize the person that I'm meeting. I want to meet, okay, let's say one person has an associate's degree. Let me go find someone with a bachelor's. No, let me make sure I find someone with a master's, because they're smarter than the person with the associate's degree. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's like, whereas before, you were just happy you had somebody to be there for you, who was supportive, whatever. Now it's, I have to get the best, the best possible person so I can post it up on my social media to impress a bunch of people that I don't even know, that I don't even care about, that like I haven't talked to in 20 years, whatever, 30, 40 years since high school. I have to, impress a bunch of people that really couldn't care less about me, but I have to impress them because I just have to do that. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. It's just gotten so absurd that it's like people are just completely ungrateful and unappreciative. It's like going shopping for a new car and I have to get the Maserati. I can't have the Toyota Corolla. I have to get the Jaguar. I have to, this is the way they're like searching for a partner. I have to get the one that looks like a model, that's the smartest, that's the best looking, and it's just totally, totally unreal expectations. Like, the person could be a complete hellspawn, which, a lot of these good looking people, a lot of them are. They have like a horrible, petty, disgusting personality, but that person is going to look the best with me in my pictures. So it's just a completely vain ideals. You know what I mean? It's not like, does this person make me happy? It's on paper, who looks the best, that's who I'm gonna go with, who has the most money. Like, so it's just absurd. But my point of saying all this is that I just think, not to be too nostalgic and, everything was better back in the day, but I just think a lot of these things it was a lot harder to pull off a lot of these stunts that these narcissists pull off if there were a father figure in the situation who should be monitoring every single person that comes around their daughter. They should be like, you know what, if you want to talk to my daughter, you have to go through me. And that's it. Like, you cannot talk to my daughter unless you go through me. And that's it. And vice versa for the men. I know, like, moms don't generally, well, they should actually. They should look out for their sons. Because it's the same thing with the females. You got these scheming ass females. I know it's the same exact thing. So, no double standards here, okay? I know it's the exact same thing. So, I just think if these systems could be put in place, a lot of these narcissists would not be able to operate in the way that they do. So I just wanted to put that message out there.